Welcome back everyone for a full team lineup. Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2 Watch Party! The shock reveal at the end of Part 1 left fans in a frenzy. Tory is back with Kreese and Cobra Kai is at the tournament to win it all. Robbie and Sam are up against near impossible odds. Not to mention, Miguel is going to have to carry beyond his weight for the team as Dimitri and Da-Eun only made the cut through foul play and cheating. However, the season ended with a subtle mystery. Every team has 6 fighters, in theory anyway. We see the Cobra strut out on stage in groups. First Kwon, Yoon, and the other fighter come out, then Kreese and Kim Da-Eun. Then finally Tory takes her place. That's where the show ends, except what? Huh? Where are the other 2 fighters? Cobra Kai has 6 and they only showed 4. The first immediate theory is Kenny. If you remember, Kenny excelled in Cobra Kai beyond anything he ever imagined. You remember even his brother Sean was impressed by his stamina and energy. Terry Silver connected to Kenny when Robbie was absent. You don't soon forget a connection like that. It helped him grow. Plus, Kenny is literally the reason Cobra Kai made the tournament in the first place. Like, there they all are, strutting out, but they're only at the Sekai Taikai because Terry Silver taught Kenny the silver bullet, and he used it as a cheap shot against All Valley champion Hawk. Without Kenny, none of them are here. Kenny had joined Miyagi-Do, correct? Well, yes, but it wasn't smooth sailing. He excelled in Mike Barnes' test, but wasn't enough to make the early cut. Then, in the final test, he had some shitty luck, or was sabotaged by Da-Eun. Even worse, he suspected Anthony is the one who did it. As Anthony is Daniel's son, he figured there wasn't anything he could do about it. He didn't show up on the final day. Was he quitting? Certainly Tory noticed. Would she have mentioned it to Kreese and let Kreese talk to Kenny into coming along with them? You remember Kreese was tough, but also the one who originally let Kenny into Cobra Kai. So while his connection wasn't as strong as Terry Silver's, it was definitely still there. So the idea of a Kenny Cobra Kai surprise has a lot of merit, and fans are definitely theorizing it's possible. However, I will say it looks pretty conclusive that Kenny is not going to join Cobra Kai. First off, I had that immediate question about the missing students when I first saw Part 1. Luckily, Hayden came into my live watch party and answered a few questions. I brought up the missing students right away, and here's how Hayden answered. A few more Cobra Kai students enter after the end snake. Okay, Hayden is known for trolling and saying misleading things, but I am fluent in Hayden's speak, so let me translate what that means. He was saying it is somewhat irrelevant. Like the students were there, but they just weren't shown because they weren't important. They came out after the show ended. Basically, the most important fighters on Cobra Kai are Kwon and Tory. That is where the show focused. Luckily, we also have a little further proof, courtesy of Netflix. They've showed brief glimpses of Part 2 in their Inside the Dojo special, and we can actually see both of the other fighters. The first is in this cool shot of Kwon showing off his kicking ability. He's attracted a crowd, to be sure, but if you look in the background, you can see 3 other Cobra Kai guys watching him. Now, as you recall, there were only 3 total at the end of Part 1. Now with Kwon, there's 4 of them here. This guy appears to be the 4th one we didn't see previously. So that's one of the mystery fighters. But then with him, that still only makes 5. Who is the 6th? Well, common sense and strategy would dictate they would bring at least one other girl. Except in the scenes of the dojo, no girl ever stood out to Kreese. That is likely why he went after Tory. There is a shot with another girl, however. This shot shows Kreese in deep contemplation at the tournament. If you look behind him, you can see another girl in the Cobra Kai gi. You can even tell it's Cobra Kai because you can recognize the other fighter due to his unmistakable hairstyle. So this is the second girl on the team after Tory. It's worth wondering what her role in the tournament will be. As she is a yet unnamed character, it certainly won't be large. I'd be curious if she tries to relate to Tory in any way, as they're obviously the only girls there. As you recall, Tory doesn't always relate well with the other girls in the dojo.
We should do that again sometime. Don't get your hopes up.
But either way, there you have it, the remaining fighters of Cobra Kai's team. One male, one female. Kenny is not on the team or joining at any point. His story will definitely go in another direction. The two other characters are basically background. They exist to fill out the roster, so don't expect much story here. It is worth pointing out that in my live stream, Hayden also explained why Kreese went back to America to recruit Tory. He said, Master Kim's under 18 female students are technically skilled, but Kreese knows Tory has that Rocky level drive. So that is an important point. It also underscores what Kreese is always looking for from a technical standpoint. Tory may not be better than the other girls at the dojo, and maybe on some level Tory may not be better than this girl here. However, Tory has a relentless drive. She will push harder and go further than anyone else. The fact that her mom just died and she has no other opportunity to make a name for herself only adds to that. It's do or die for Tory. Kreese offered her a guaranteed spot. That is better than having a chance to slip up and lose out to Sam. It's probably also not a coincidence that Hayden referred to it as Rocky-esque. I suspect this show will go hard with the Rocky parallels, and what is especially interesting is that maybe both sides will be Rocky. It's not like Sensei Kim's dojo is using advanced machinery or robotics to train the way Terry Silver was. They train outside, just like Miyagi-Do. They use stones in nature, just like Miyagi-Do. So as we look forward to part 2, expect perhaps competing Rocky narratives. And no, I don't think Hayden is joking around with that comment. He was genuinely describing Kreese's thinking. You'll notice it is also what drew Kreese to Quan. His rebellious attitude had a fire that didn't exist in the others. Kreese will be harnessing both his champions for victory in the Sekai Taikai. But now the question is, how will the two champions get along with each other? There will likely be events where they have to fight side by side. Will they have trust in rhythm the way Sam and Robbie do? We see them out together, but that's also likely to cause strife with Tory and Robbie. They're still in a relationship, by the way. Will Quan make a move on Tory? You know you would. The future looks like it'll have a severe shortage of mercy. We'll find out soon enough. Have a great day. I'll see you at the next watch party.